Hey guys, it's Sunday, the 30th of March, 2025. We're in Allston at Brighton Avenue and Harvard Avenue. I'm a little nervous as some dude just kind of walked up behind me and then stood there, and I moved to take a picture of something, and he followed me, and I turned around like, can I help you? And he's wearing a mask, so I'm trying to make sure he's not going to try to make off with you. Of course, he'd be kind of, he's not following me, thank goodness. So, like I said, now we're at Brighton Avenue. Oh, by the way, if you like to explore new places or have adventures, like worry that somebody's gonna whack you over the head and punch you in the face and steal your camera, subscribe. You could do me a really big favor and go to church. No. Like this video so it gets in front of more people. I have to keep checking for that dude. That used to be a big popular restaurant and tavern kind of place, but they closed it. Yeah. There's a Mexican place, habanero. There's all kinds of people in this neighborhood. I will take a quick look across the street. Gives me a chance to look behind me. There is somebody back there, but he doesn't have a mask on, so I don't think it's the same guy. It's alright, we'll be turning left up here in a little while. It's kind of a chilly day. Let's see what time it is. 11:30, 40 degrees. Temperature's falling into the mid-30s. It's just kind of nasty and wrong. This building caught on fire like last summer, I think, maybe a year ago. And I don't think anybody's actually still open in it. Some places were going to come back and they were going to fix up this end of it where the fire actually started. I need to spin around and check this dude behind me. Yeah, that's the thing about this part of the neighborhood. There's not like, people everywhere. I can kind of see the side street. Yeah, the dude that was following me, I just turned around and said, can I help you? And he didn't say a word. So who knows? Here's a Burger King. This has got interesting things in the window. We'll go down this way. I think we'll cross the street first, though. Do the crosswalk since somebody's trying to come right up to it. These I didn't have in my hometown. I don't think I saw them in Chicago either. BK, have it your way. We came out to see what was blooming. There's some magnolias up on Camelot Avenue that were in the last video. People showing their patriotism. Yeah. Some places the grass is starting to green up. Some places not, as you can see. Yesterday we went to a hands-off protest, part of the Tesla takedown in front of the Tesla spot on Allston Street. Like I said, I just take you along with me to whatever I'm going to, so you can see what it's like. Even if you don't agree with the protesters, sometimes it's a good idea to just hear them out. Turn on your empathy switch. And while I don't agree with everything that they protest about, there's quite a bit that we share in common. So this is Griggs Place, and we're going to walk this way back to Ringer Park. I couldn't think of the name for a minute. I have to be careful because I'm a 61-year-old fart with nerve damage in my feet from uncontrolled diabetes for years, so don't do that. And my feet can't tell if I'm on a level surface or not. It sucks. And I need a visual reference point or I fall down. Like if I cover my eyes, I start wobbling. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been here. There's a sure sign of spring. I already saw my first one a couple weeks ago. You always notice when the first robin comes out, but never the last one. Why is that? It's hard to just prove a negative, right? I have some people who don't understand that lesson. I'm gonna have to remember that analogy. So here's Ringer Park. I think I can get there this way. If not, I'm screwed and we'll have to turn around. I believe the other end, yeah, this is this way out. And that part of the dog pooping on the baseball field, I'm sure the kids will enjoy that. Actually, I never see any kids out there. Mostly people with their dogs because it's all fenced in. But you can see some of the residential that looks, it was more like, 60s, 70s? And then you'll pass a house that goes back to the 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s. Once you go downtown, and there you might go back into the 1700s. At least a lot of the public buildings and monuments and stuff do. It's a school. And the baseball field's theirs, but like I said, I never see anybody, and I think it's closing or closed. Maybe not. There's some street art back there in the distance, a pig. And here's a frog. And the dog having a wonderful time. Where it says, no dogs allowed. Criminals. Let's get the sign and the dog in the same shot. That'll make it fun. Fun screen grab. And then we got a weird smiley face and a sunflower. It's a nice view from atop that hill. It's just because of the balance reasons, it's hard for me to get up there. That and I'm old and fat. I was pretty much sedentary while my feet were having problems. I had surgery on the right one and had about 50 stitches in it, so. But everything went fine with that. But look at the dog some more. If I had a dog like that, I'd have to bring him there. Because I live in an apartment with the only yard being an on-leash yard. Playground up there. Another school that I think is open because I see kids out here on this playground. And there's usually people playing tennis and basketball, so it's a little too chilly today. I've also seen people out here doing like practice sword fights for some kind of historic reenactment, I think. And there's the other way you can come in to this part of the park. And we'll just walk there without me talking, hopefully.
To the point of
Court's still damp. There's the hill. And then there's the playground. If you go up the hill, there's rocks with all kinds of graffiti, empty liquor cans and bottles. I mean, it's a nice overlook of, I don't know, a building's parking garage, but that's about it. And there's big granite rocks. If you play Pokemon Go, which I sometimes do to entertain myself while I'm mindlessly walking, this park is full of Pokestops and some gyms. My music has stopped playing. No, I've somehow turned it down so far I can't hear it. So we'll kind of spin around here and look at the trails going up on the hill. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's make an exception. As long as I don't fall down and go boom, which you'll know if I do. I usually go up that way when I do go up here, but this is not quite as much of an incline. And you can see like little cans that single joints come in, all kinds of stuff. There's a little path to that rock. I guess people climb up it. Not this guy. Those days are long past. And then you can go up there. We're just on the top. We're not doing that today. But you can see some of the graffiti. And then you go over this way and we'll see what's over here. You can see all the little paths where everybody tends to go, I guess. A lot of trash. But here's what I told you. You can see the overlook over the parking lot, and then that's the Urban Wilds path down there. Now, if I turned around and saw the guy that was following me, we'd probably go up one of these hills. Nah, he's gone. I'm thinking he wanted to grab the camera. You can also go that way. It's kind of a level thing that runs along this level. Anyway. Sorry, my phone is giving me some kind of important notification. Nope. There's another park where there are 10-foot tall reeds that grow in the summer. Let's just say I wouldn't take you there, because you do never know what you might stumble upon there. And sometimes in the bigger parks like that have a lot of wooded areas, you find tents with people living in them. Kind of look at the houses that live along the park. And then we're coming up the hill to Gordon Street. There's the sign that says Urban Wild. And it goes back that way. If you go at night, you might see rats. Well, no, not might. You will see rats. I've taken my friend's dog down there a few times. He likes it because it's all new smells. There was if you remember, a rail labor problem contract issue. Support rail workers over there. And then this is probably one of my favorite pieces of tagging, anyway, that I've seen. Fight that evil. Let's see. So this is Gordon Street, and you can see some of, I don't know what that is, but it's starting to come out. And away. Nope, that's leaves. So this will all be full of flowers very soon. It's one way down that part. Here it's two way. All right, this is Camelot Court. Another fight evil sign. So it's some kid who lives in this area, more than likely. There's a zip car renting place there. Oh, somebody on a scooter on this side. I'm just gonna walk in the street. Or cross. No. Because then I'll just have to cross again. You can see all the flower beds and stuff. We've still got some nights right around freezing, so it'll be another week or two. So yeah, these are kind of nice. JFK was born here, so Camelot is what they called the White House when he was there. Here it's Camelot Court, I wonder. You can see some daffodils that are getting ready to come out. There's some little tiny ones. Little teeny tiny. And they've got their own little private park. I didn't like the song that was playing, so I stopped to skip it and give them some space. We're coming up to Warren Street. I couldn't do one of these fire escapes unless not that way. Unless my butt was on fire because they're too high. I was in the Air Force and flew at, 40,000 feet, but that was inside a tube I could not fall out of. And I had faith it wouldn't fall. That's the Brighton Marine Complex, which is a veteran services that's been here all the way back to at least World War II. World War I, I think. If you go down this way, Brighton High School is down where that smokestack is. There's a Franciscan Children's Hospital on the right. My voting place is in a school that's down there. And I worked the polls this year, doing my civic duty. And we're coming up to Commonwealth Avenue, where we began our journey this day. Another apartment building. The red awning that says "We Deliver," that's Sammy's Pizza. He's reasonable, it's all handmade. I had to wait for that phone assistant to go away that heard me. But yeah, Sammy's Pizza, and they have all kinds of stuff. Paninis that are pretty good. And there's the T, MBTA Green Line B train, which comes from Boston College to Government Center downtown. In front's a Type 7, behind's a Type 8. There are Type 9s, but only 100 cars, so 50 sets on 4 green lines. They don't come this way a lot. They're working on Type 10 that'll be as long as 2 of those cars in 1 car. Instead of needing 2 drivers, they'll only need 1. That's usually a safe time to cross the street, but it's almost over. And there's magnolias off in the distance. This time of year I like to go see things come alive. So Harry's Bar and Grill has a wonderful brunch. It's very tempting. And then that's Commonwealth Avenue towards Boston College. Since we're just a bit over my normal 20-minute limit, I'm going to remind you to like and subscribe if you're still listening. Let me know in the comments if you made it this far. And until next time, love y'all.